ended up amending our constitution, removing a very offensive clause that was outlawing a multi-party democracy. Up to that point, Kenya was a de jure one-party state. And through Sabasaba activities, we removed Section 2A, and Kenya became a democracy. This was strengthened in 2010 when we inaugurated the Constitution 2010 under President Kibaki, whom I had occasion to serve under as his vice president. The Archbishop said, I quote, "We used to say you are the leaders of tomorrow, but indeed you have proved that you are not leaders of the future, but of this our time." End of quote. He delivered these remarks, as I said, during the special service at the Holy Family Basilica only a few days ago, in memory of 41 young Kenyans killed by police gunfire during peaceful demonstrations. Police gunfire. I had occasion to visit some of the morgues in the city mortuary for those of you who are Kenyans, and my heart almost stopped when I saw the brains of a young Kenyan, a Gen Z, blown off by a sniper's bullet who fired from on top of the National Assembly. 41 young Kenyans died. I completely concur with the Archbishop that his sentiments that accurately depict the social, economic, and even political climate in Kenya, which currently finds, in Kenya that the country currently finds itself in. Instead of imagining a future where their voices might be eventually heard, Gen Z declared that this is our time and we will be listened to this time round. In so doing, Kenya's youth gave life to Article 1 of our Constitution 2010, to which I made reference, which defines the sovereignty of the people as all sovereign power belongs to the people of Kenya and shall be exercised only in accordance with this Constitution. And Article 2, the people may use their democratically elected representatives or themselves to exert their sovereign authority. This is what the Kenyan Gen Zs did. They did the incredible thing. They walked right inside Parliament and took over. Said, you elected us, we are taking back that authority. And I don't know how many in Africa will have taken note of that. The president sitting at State House called it treason. Called it treason. Treasonous act. The Kenyans were acting in accordance with the Constitution, which is supreme. Friends, this was the first and most important step in understanding and interpreting what an inclusive democracy actually entails by our Kenyan youth. Inclusive democracy guarantees that every person, regardless of background, has a voice in decision-making processes. Because Kenya's Gen Z read the most significant document in the nation, Constitution 2010, and by the way, in his own words, that document says, this is the supreme law of the land. And the land here is defined as Kenya. Any other law, including utterances like those by President Ruto, which is in contradiction of what the Constitution says, such formulation is void to the extent of such contradiction. Because Kenya's Gen Z read the most significant document, as I said, President was forced to withdraw the Anti-People Finance Bill 2024. as part of a series of substantial concessions. Kenya's youth grabbed literally their sovereign power and authority as outlined in the Constitution. And if in this country, you know the 204 members of parliament who voted yes because their hands had been greased with money, corruption, even in parliament, are finding it extremely difficult to go to their constituencies and do anything, because agencies are saying they're going to visit with them. So it has become very unattractive for any leader to be called by their bosses and given 2 million, 1 million shillings to go and vote in parliament, because they know eventually their electorate will catch up with them by just going to visit them. Later in the day, my big brother, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, will be coming to talk to you. And I spoke to him on my way here, and he sends his greetings ahead of his coming. Please welcome him when he does come. People went to visit him yesterday on his space. And when they visited Baba, we call him, he had to change his telephone number. Because the agency put the number everywhere. And maybe it's a measure of cyberbullying. Please be kind to Baba. But if they can do that to the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, imagine who else in this country. Transparent. You use vehicles which have gasless. I saw a friend from Lusaka, Zambia, a young lady. I spoke to President Akaide about a week ago. And he told me when he took over as the president of Zambia, he refused to buy any new vehicles. And his ministers were very unhappy with him. But now the Zambians are beginning to see what President Akaide did. We need the kind of leadership. When I was coming here, and when you get to a tea break, you will see fewer gaslers because their minister is with you in this compound. Each of them with fewer gaslers, with bodyguards, with all kinds of personnel. Kenyans are demanding accountability. By bringing Article 37 to life, which says that is under Kenyan Constitution, and allow me to use that Kenyan example for the leaders, the young leaders from Africa, in the hope you can use this as a test case. Actually, what is going on in Kenya should be a case study for the whole of the African region. Because Kenyan youth got so highly educated. So remember, this is a country that invented M-Pesa. And they get into space quickly and occupy. They occupied Baba's space. Under Article 37 of our Constitution, every person has the right to peaceably and unarmed, that is the condition, unarmed, to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions to public authorities. That's the end of that quotation. So Generation Z has done more to promote social cohesion in 1 month than the constitutional body that is charged with this responsibility, called the National Cohesion and Integration Commission, NCIC, and to get all the political parties represented here, including Wiper, and all political leadership have done in the previous 14 years. We need to clap for Gen Z. Imagine they have taken over all what NSIC has been trying to do, and political parties to talk about cohesion and what have you, the rights under Chapter 4 of our Constitution, including Chapter 6 on leadership and integrity. which they're actually seeking enforcement for. By emphatically declaring that Gen Z are tribeless, partyless, and leaderless, you may help to eliminate tribalism and inequality, as well as promote sustainable development for all.